Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We have started a new initiative that will help the aspirants to revise the current affairs through options. The options selected here are of utmost importance. They will help you to revise current affairs of the past 4 months. This will boost your memory through mind mapping. Due to time constraint, we have limited option revision in the video. Rest of the options revision will be available in our daily current affairs application quiz section. Hello everyone. So in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the third week of the May month. Let's start. First is as per the periodic labor force survey released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation for January to March 2024, that is the fourth quarter, India's urban unemployment rate in current weekly status terms for persons that are aged 15 years and above is 6.7%. Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we talk about for males, the unemployment rate here for males was 74.4% and for females it was 25.6% in the fourth quarter. And here if we talk about at the all India level, the labor force participation rate was 50.2%. Next, which country has received the budgetary support of $50 million from India in the form of a rollover of the treasury bill for another year? Which is that country? It is Maldives. Right? And this budgetary support is of $50 million and it is in the form of a rollover of treasury bill to the Maldives for another year. And it is State Bank of India that has subscribed one more year to the treasury bill that is issued by the Ministry of Finance of Maldives. And these government treasury bills, they are subscribed by SBI under a unique government to government arrangement at zero cost, that is interest free, to the government of Maldives. Apart from this, government of India, they have approved humanitarian assistance of $1 million to Kenya as there was heavy flooding in Kenya. Next, which financial institution organization has recently signed an MOU with Renew to provide financial support of $1 billion over the next 3 years for energy transition project? It is Society Generale, right? It is Renew and Society Generale. They have recently signed a memorandum of understanding and it is to support the renewable energy projects in India as well as globally. And this partnership, this will contribute towards India's net zero goals. Here Society Generale, this will provide financial support of up to $1 billion over the next 3 years and this will be through debt financing and advisory solutions. Apart from this, remember recently BNP Paribas, if we talk about it, 19 ABNP, right, the largest bank of the Eurozone, they have agreed to acquire 9% shareholding in the Belgian insurer Aegis from China's Fosun Group for about 730 million euros. And if we talk about Standard Chartered Bank, State Bank of India and Standard Chartered Bank, they have carried out a credit default swap. This trade was worth 25 crore rupees and this is the first CDS transaction since the RBI issued revised regulations regarding CDS in 2022. Next, name the India's first insurance portfolio management platform that was recently launched by State Bank of India General Insurance Company Limited. What is the name of that portfolio management platform? It is Bima Central. Right, Bima Central, and it is India's first insurance portfolio management platform that will transform the customer experience with innovation. Apart from this, next, if we discuss about CDP Suraksha, remember CDP Suraksha stands for Cluster Development Program System for Unified Resource Allocation, Knowledge and Secure Horticulture Assistance, and this was launched by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And this platform CDP Suraksha was to disburse the subsidiaries in the horticulture farmer under the CDP. Next, Asian Development Bank, they have approved $148.5 million loan to which state? It is to Sikkim state to enhance the power distribution system in the state of Sikkim, and this will be benefiting multiple villages that are based in Sikkim, correct, as electricity will be provided to them. Next, if we talk about Assam here, remember Department of Economic Affairs of the Ministry of Finance and Asian Development Bank, they have signed $200 million loan, and this loan was for Assam, Project Assam. And what is this Project Assam? Basically, that to provide the risk erosion management alongside the Brahmaputra river, as because of heavy flooding and heavy rainfall, the river banks of the Brahmaputra river, they get eroded with time, and in order to make sure that they remain safe and the areas, the land, the agricultural land nearby remain safe, for this $200 million was approved by Asian Development Bank. Next, review of the MSCI Global Standard Indexes. 13 securities have been included to it, and 3 securities have been removed from the India index in this MSCI India index. Question asked is, which of the following companies is among the 3 securities that have been removed from the MSCI index? First of all, this, what is this MSCI index? Morgan Stanley Capital International Incorporation. This is an index that means similar to that of a Nifty, Fin Nifty, Bank Nifty. It is a combination of multiple stocks, right? MSCI index, that means in which Morgan Stanley tends to invest or heavily invest. Then in this India MSCI India index, remember a total of 13 Indian securities. Securities here basically means your stocks. So 13 Indian stocks were added, and a total of 3 Indian stocks, they were removed, right? Which are the 3 Indian stocks that have been removed here? So this is your Berger Paints, Indraprastha Gas Limited, and your Paytm. They have been removed. So among them, so you can see Paytm is there. So Paytm is the organization or the entity that has been recently removed. Next, which country has the highest number of entries in the 9th edition of the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia list? It is our India. There were a total of 86 entries from India, right? And this 30 Under 30 Asia list is released by which organization? It is released by Forbes. And this is basically a combination of leaders, young entrepreneurs, right, who are under 30 and who are driving innovation in various sectors across the globe. So as we saw, 86 entries from India. Then Japan and China, they both had 32 entries. Singapore 37, Australia 26, and Indonesia 18. Apart from this, if we talk about China, remember India secured second position in the MSCI Emerging Market Index, that surpassed Taiwan, and the first spot was of China in the MSCI Global Index. Next, who has been recently named as the Singapore's new Prime Minister? So, Lawrence Wong. Lawrence Wong has been named as the Singapore's new Prime Minister, and he was sworn in as the 4th Prime Minister of Singapore since independence. Right? Take a note of this. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Lee Hsien Loong. He has been relinquished from his position after 20 years. That means Lee Hsien Loong, he has been serving in this position as the new as the Prime Minister of Singapore since from 2004 to 2024. Next, if we talk about Sakes Masra, remember Sakes Masra, the president, Sakes Masra, he was appointed as the Prime Minister of Republic of Chad, right? Take a note of this. If we talk about Bassirou Faye, remember Bassirou Faye has been serving as the president of Senegal, right? Bassirou Faye. Next, Quant Money Managers Limited received RBI approval to acquire 9.98% of the paid up share capital or voting rights in Dash. So it is in RBL Bank. So Quant Money Managers Limited, they received the RBI approval to acquire 9.98% of the paid up share capital of voting rights in RBL Bank. Quant Money Managers, they hold around 4.68% stake in RBL Bank. And here Quant Money Mutual Fund, Quant Mutual Fund, that is an arm of Quant Money Managers, they hold around 4.68% here. right? And Quant Mutual Fund, on an average, they manages assets worth 77,358 crore rupees. Then if we talk about National Housing Bank here, remember the board of the directors of LIC, they have approved the proposal to acquire 10% equity stake in company promoted by National Housing Board. If we talk about Kotak Mahindra Bank, here remember ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company, they have acquired 0.7% stake in Kotak Mahindra Bank for 245 crore rupees. Next, which space agency has recently planned to build the first railway system on the moon called flexible levitation on a track? That is your float. So this float, that is flexible levitation on a track, which is the space agency that has recently planned to build the first railway station on the moon. First of all, this is the important question. Correct. So which is that space agency that is planning to build a railway station on moon? It is NASA. NASA is the space agency of USA, and they will be building this float, that is flexible levitation on a track, right? And this basically will help as a guiding mission to launch or to set up a colony on the Mars, as it will be setting up as a hub or a station from which we can launch the rockets, right? And also we can also do mining on moon and explore various minerals there, metals there, that we can use for setting up a base also at our moon and then at a Mars, right? And here the speed of the train that is expected here will be around 1.61 kilometer per hour on the moon. As we know, on moon the gravity is almost 1/6 that of the earth. Then further, if we talk about ISRO, remember ISRO is the space agency of India, and ISRO, they have recently launched Aditya L1 mission. L1 stands for Lagrange 1 point, that this will be placed at, and Aditya 1 mission is basically to study the surface of the sun, right? Next is, okay, one more thing. If we talk about Roscosmos, that is the space agency of Russia, they have launched Angara 5 rocket. Angara A5 space rocket. This will be a heavy lift rocket, and this will be replacing the Proton of Russia. Next, who is the author of the biography of former WHO chief scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, titled At the Wheel of Research, an exclusive biography of Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. So, who is the author here? Anuradha Mascarenhas, right? She is a senior assistant editor of the Indian Express, and she has penned down the new book, that is At the Wheel of the Research, an exclusive biography of Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. This book will be published by Bloomsbury Publishing India Private Limited. And remember, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, she is the daughter of very famous person, also known as the father of Green Revolution, MS Swaminathan. Then if we talk about Mansukh Mandviya, remember Jagdeep Dhankad, who is the Vice President of India, has released a new book, that is Fertilizing the Future, Bharat's March Toward Fertilizer Self-Sufficiency, has authored by our Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Mansukh Mandviya. Next, when was the National Dengue Day observed across India? It was 16th of May. We observe National Dengue Day, and it is to spread awareness about the dengue, that is a mosquito-borne viral infectious disease, right? This theme for this day, that is the National Dengue Day, will be Connect with Community, Control Dengue. Then on 25th of April, we observed World Malaria Day. 28th of January, we observe World Leprosy Day. 19th of April, we observe World Liver Day. Next, UNESCO celebrated the dash anniversary of the 1954 Hajj Convention. So in May 2024, UNESCO celebrated the 70th anniversary of the 1954 Hajj Convention, right? And this convention was adopted after a severe destruction of the various cultural sites during the Second World War. This Hajj Convention was to adopt to prevent cultural heritage and sites. To prevent cultural heritage sites. This is your Hajj Convention of 1954. 4. Next, which state has recently become the first state in India to create 10 crore Ayushman Bharat health account IDs? It is R. Uttar Pradesh. UP became the first state in India that have created more than 10 crore ABHA IDs, Ayushman Bharat health account IDs under Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. UP was followed by Maharashtra on second position, followed by Gujarat on the third position. Next, which Indian digital payments company recently partnered with Sri Lanka's Lanka Pay to introduce UPI transactions in Sri Lanka? So, which is that digital payment company that has partnered with Sri Lanka to introduce UPI in Sri Lanka? It will be PhonePe. PhonePe, this is Bengaluru, Karnataka based fintech platform, and they have collaborated with Lanka Pay of Sri Lanka to use or to introduce UPI to the users of Sri Lanka. And this will allow the PhonePe users to make payments in Indian rupees across Lanka's or Sri Lanka or using the Lanka Pay network. Apart from this, if we talk about Amazon Pay, they recently got the payment aggregator license, and they have also partnered with National Payment Corporation of India to set up the credit services on the UPI network. Then it was Razorpay. This is also important. Remember, Razorpay have launched UPI Switch. This is the next generation of UPI, right? And this will be a cloud-based innovation that has partnered with Airtel Payments Bank to launch this UPI Switch, a new kind of a UPI network. Next, World Economic Situation and Prospectus 2024 report was released by UNDESA, that is United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. Question asked is, what is the revised GDP projection for India in 2024? It is 6.9%. So what is the revised GDP projection for India in 2024? It is 6.9% as per UNDESA. What is the inflation or CPI data or retail inflation? 4.5% in 2024. It should be expected this much. Then 6.8% was projected by International Monetary Fund, 6.5% projected by UNCTAD. Right? Moving on. According to the Forbes World's Highest Paid Athletes 2024 released in May, who is the highest paid athlete in the world? So Cristiano Ronaldo, he is the highest paid athlete in the world according to the data released by Forbes. He is from Portugal. He is a footballer and his total earnings were close to $260 million. Then on second position is John Ram. He is a golfer and he is at second position with a total earning of $218 million. Then comes Lionel Messi. He is also a very famous footballer with $135 million in earning at the third position. Next, apart from this, one more thing you can remember about Lionel Messi, that he was also honored with the best FIFA men's player for the year 2023, and Aitana Bonmati, she was honored with best FIFA women's player for 2023 award. Next, which space organization has recently won Geospatial Leadership Award 2024 for enabling industry development in public policy during the Geospatial World Economic Forum 2024 held in Rotterdam, Netherlands? So, which is that space organization that has won the Geospatial Leadership Award 2024? It is InSpace, that is Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Right, this comes under the Department of Space of Government of India, and they have won Geospatial World Leadership Award 2024, and it was under which category? It was under enabling public policy. Right, and this award basically it acknowledges the InSpace contribution to the international geospatial field that will help in fostering growth and development of the space sector in India, as well as to support the non-government entities in the space economy. Then if we talk about ISRO, remember Chandrayaan 3 mission team, they have been honored with John L. Swigert Junior Award for Space Exploration. And if we talk about NASA, Artemis Accord was launched by NASA, that is for peaceful exploration, and Sweden became 38th nation to join Artemis Accord. Next, Sela Tunnel was recognized as India's highest tunnel by the International Book of Honor of England, UK. This Sela Tunnel was constructed in which state or UT? So Sela Tunnel, this is located in Arunachal Pradesh. Take a note of this. This is at an altitude of 13,000 feet. And Sela Tunnel, it is one of the world's longest bi-lane tunnel constructed on the road that is in Arunachal Pradesh, and this is 2.598 kilometer long. Right? Then if we talk about Gujarat state, Gujarat's Vadodara Municipal Corporation, this is a civic body and they have raised 100 crore rupees through issuing Asia's first certified green municipal bond that are for sustainable water infrastructure. Next, who has been recently elected as the president of the Supreme Court Bar Association? So Kapil Sibal, has senior advocate and former Union Minister of Law and Justice, has been elected as the president of Supreme Court Bar Association, and will be in this position for the fourth time. He defeated Pradeep Kumar Rai, a senior advocate, and remember, Kapil Sibal, he will take over from the current senior advocate Adhishri Agrawal. Take a note of this. Apart from this, Rachna Srivastav, a senior advocate, has been appointed as the vice president, and Vikram Yadav has been appointed as the advocate as secretary of Supreme Court Bar Association. So secretary will be Vikrant Yadav. Apart from this, friends, if we talk about Indramani Pandey, Ambassador Indramani Pandey took charge as the fourth Secretary General of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or in simple terms say, he has been appointed as the fourth Secretary General of BIMSTEC. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Croatia? So Andrej Plenković. He has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of the Republic of Croatia, and this will be his third consecutive term. He has been serving as the Prime Minister since 2016. If we talk about Simon Harris, remember he was elected as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland. Prime Minister of Ireland. Next, which company has recently acquired Shriram Housing Finance Limited, the housing finance subsidiary of Shriram Finance Limited, for 4,630 crore rupees? It is Warburg Pincus. Right, Chennai, Tamil Nadu based Shriram Finance Limited, they have approved the sale of their housing arm, right, that is based in USA, correct, and that is based here in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and they have been acquired by Warburg Pincus for 4,630 crore rupees, and it will be by US based equity firm. Apart from this, if we talk about Brookfield Asset Management, here Brookfield Asset Management, through their affiliate Data Infrastructure Trust, they are set to acquire Indian unit of American Tower Corporation for a value of $2.5 billion. Next, Dash, the veteran Congress leader and former governor of Gujarat from 2019 to 2014, recently passed away. So Kamal Beniwal, the veteran Congress leader and former governor of Gujarat from 2009 to 2014, recently passed away at the age of 97 in hospital in Jaipur. At the age of 15, remember, Kamala Beniwal, she has joined the Indian National Congress. She also participated in 1942 Quit India movement, and she became the first women minister in the state of Rajasthan. And Kamala Beniwal was awarded with Tamra Patra Award by then Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi. Next is, which country has recently become the first country in Asia to build the high energy photon source, the fourth generation synchrotron light source? So which is that country? It is China, and China became the first country in Asia to build this HEPS, that is high energy photon source, that is the fourth generation synchrotron light source, that is the world's brightest X-rays. It is located approximately 50 km from Beijing, and it is worth $665 million facility. This synchrotron, this is a circular particle accelerator where particles moves in loop, and it works by accelerating the charged particles that are your electrons to very high speeds through magnets until they reach the speed of light and then they are collided. Next is the name the country that has recently lost its last glacier as it shrinks down to an ice field. So Venezuela is the country that has lost their last glacier as it shrinks down to an ice field. 5 of the 6 glaciers in Venezuela have recently been melted completely. Next, which of the following countries' cricket teams were recently granted sponsorship by Dandini Dairy brand of Karnataka Milk Federation? So, Scotland and Ireland. These are the countries' cricket team. They were granted sponsorship by the Nandini Dairy brand of Karnataka Milk Federation. Correct to the Scotland team and Ireland team. So both 1 and 2 are absolutely right here. Next, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, they have recently set up India's maiden pavilion at the World Hydrogen 2024 Summit and Exhibition that was held at Rotterdam, Netherlands. Right? And this summit, it featured the Maiden India Pavilion that was set up by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy under Green Hydrogen Mission. Next, which bank has recently secured $500 million from International Finance Corporation to support underserved women borrowers? So, in order to support the underserved women borrowers, a loan of $500 million has been approved by IFC. By which bank? It is HDFC Bank that secured $500 million loan from IFC to set up or to support the underserved women borrowers. Right? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about State Bank of India, SBI Cards and Payment Service Limited, they have introduced the first travel focused card, that is SBI Miles, and this too was launched in 3 variants: SBI Card Miles Elite, Prime and Simple SBI Card Miles. Next, which company has recently launched an open-ended equity scheme following an automotive and allied business activities theme? That is your SBI Mutual Fund. This is the largest fund house, SBI Mutual Fund, and they have launched SBI Automotive Opportunities Fund. This is basically a first of its kind that will be investing in the automobile stocks. Right? Take a note of this. And the NFO, that is your new fund offer, will be open for subscription from 17th of May and it will close on 31st of May 2024. Then if we talk about Grow Mutual Fund, remember this is an AMC asset management company and they have received the approval from SEBI to launch India's first inaugural Nifty non-cyclical consumer index fund. Next is Yes Bank, that is your youth enterprise bank. They have recently Youth Enterprise Scheme Bank. They have launched what? So Yes Bank, they have launched Yes Grandeur, a banking program in the form of saving account and a debit card. The program target those with an average monthly balance of 5 lakh rupees or more or net relationship value of 20 lakh rupees. Here this Yes Grandeur debit card will offer travel benefits that will also provide zero cross currency markup charges. Also various airport launch access will be provided here. Then if we talk about Nomo card, it is AU Small Finance Bank that has launched this Nomo card. Nomo stands for no missing out. It is AU Small Finance Bank. They have also launched AU Spont credit card and they have also launched ATM insurance. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the chairman of IFCO? So, who has been appointed as re-elected as the chairman of IFCO? Take a note of this. So, who has been reappointed as the chairman of IFCO? Friends, this will be your homework, right? I want all the students to comment below the answer here. Next, which country has been recently chosen to host the 2026 AFC Women's Asia Cup? So, Australia. Australia is the country that has been chosen to host 2026 AFC Women's Cup, right? And Uzbekistan, they will be hosting the 2029 edition of the AFC Women's Asia Cup, right? Then if we talk about Thailand here, remember Thailand, here BWF Para Badminton Championship was held from 20 to 25th of Feb in Pattaya, Thailand, and Indian shuttler won a total of 18 gold medals, 18 medals, out of which 3 were gold, 4 silver, and 11 bronze. Next is in May, Narayan Vaghul, a renowned Indian banker and former chairman of ICICI Bank, recently passed away at the age of 88. Narayan Vaghul was awarded with Dash in 2010 in the field of trade and industry category. So he was honored with Padma Bhushan, right? And Padma Bhushan, this is the third highest civilian award, and it was in 2010 that he was honored with this Padma Bhushan in trade and industry category. Also remember, he was the youngest person to become the chairman of Bank of India in 1981. He was the founder chairman of CRISIL. Right? Next is who has been recently named as the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer of the National Aeronautics Space Agency for NASA, right? So who has been named as the Chief AI Officer of NASA? David Salvagni, right? He will be the new Chief AI Officer. So far, Kate Calvin has served as the NASA's acting responsible AI official, and Salvagni joined NASA in June 2023, and he will be responsible for using AI in space and Earth. Next, SEBI amended their listing obligation and disclosure requirements regulation for 2015 with SEBI 2024 for revising the method for calculating dash of listed companies, and it was for calculating the market capitalization of the listed companies. This market capitalization now will be based on the average market capitalization, right? It won't be decided on one day's market cap, but it will be decided on a base of a period, right? So on average will be taken of the companies for calculating the market capitalization. And here the changes will impact the top 100 and top 250 companies that are listed. Next, which bank has recently emerged as the top performer among the public sector banks in the terms of business growth during the fiscal year 24? It is Bank of Maharashtra, right? They have emerged as the top performer public sector bank, and Bank of Maharashtra, they have recorded a 15.94% growth in the total business in FY24. Then State Bank of India, they were in the second position here. Then State Bank of India, they are the largest bank. They saw a profit of 24%, that is 20,698.35 crore rupees. This was the total profit of SPI recently. Next, who has been recently appointed as the president of the Confederation of Indian Industry for the years 24-25. So Sanjeev Puri has recently been appointed as the president of the CII for the years 24-25. Sanjeev Puri has succeeded whom? He has succeeded R. Dinesh. And here remember Rajiv Memani, if we talk about it, he is the chairman and chief executive officer of Ernst & Young, that is EY, and he has been nominated as the president designate for the year 24-25. R. Mukundan, if we talk about him, he is the CEO and MD of Tata Chemicals Limited, and he has been named as the vice president of CII for the 24-25. Next, who was recently sworn in as the 16th president of Taiwan in a ceremony held at the presidential office in Taipei? So William Lai Ching-te, he has been sworn in as the 16th president of Taiwan. Take a note of this, right? And William Lai Ching-te, he will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Tsai Ing-wen, and she was the first female head of state of Taiwan and Asia who served as the president for 2 consecutive terms for 4 years since 2016. Moving on, if we talk about Thomas Sulyok, remember he has been appointed as the president of Hungary. Thomas Sulyok. Next, ISRO, they have recently planned to include a helicopter, sky crane, supersonic parachute, and a rover for navigation on Mars in their which mission? So it will be the Mangalyaan 2 mission, and ISRO recently they have launched this Mangalyaan 2 mission, and India will become the 4th country in the world after USA, Russia, and China to successfully land a spacecraft on Mars. Right? So this is your Mangalyaan 2 mission that was launched by ISRO recently. And here ISRO is working on a supersonic parachute and a sky crane system that has drawn inspiration from the NASA's deployment techniques. And here Mangalyaan 2 mission, it will be launched using GSLV Mark 3 rocket or launch vehicle. Right? Take a note of this. And here Mangalyaan 2 mission will have a rover and a helicopter for Mars exploration. So this is the question can be asked. Name the Mars exploration mission launched by ISRO recently. Mangalyaan 2. Right? Then if we talk about Gaganyaan 1, remember ISRO they accomplished a major milestone in human rating of their CE-20 cryogenic engine that has powered the cryogenic stage of the human rated LVM-3 launch vehicle for Gaganyaan mission. Next, name the space organization that has recently carried out 6 crew members including Indian Gopi Thotakura into space under the space tourism mission named New Shepard 25. So which is that organization? It is Blue Origin. It is owned by Jeff Bezos and they have launched the New Shepard 25 mission. This is a space tourism mission and India's Gopi Thotakura was one among the 6 crew members in this mission. Next, name the weapon system that has been recently handed over to the Indian Army by Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited located in Amethi, UP. It is AK-203 assault rifles and 27,000 such AK-203 assault rifles will be delivered to Indian Army. These assault rifles have achieved 25% localization and the first batch, remember, these 27,000 and apart from this 70,000 more assault rifles will be delivered to Indian Army. And this is a Indian-Russian joint venture, correct? That is IRRPL, Indian-Russian Rifles Private Limited, that is based in Amethi, UP, that will be developing this. Next is in which Badminton World Federation tournament did Indian pair Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Sethi has won the men's double title? So this was Thailand Open, right? Thailand Open, also known as Open Super 500 Badminton tournament held in Bangkok, Thailand. And here Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Sethi they have won the men's double title. If we talk about Australian Open, so India's Rohan Manchanda Bopanna has become the oldest man to win the Grand Slam after his partner Matthew Eden won the men's double title at Australian Open. Then next is Red Bull's Max Verstappen has won dash title by defeating McLaren's Lando Norris who finished second in the race. So Red Bull's Max Verstappen has won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. He also recently won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Remember that Max Verstappen he drives for Red Bull and he's a Belgian Dutch driver. And he has won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in which Lando Norris secured the second position. And for Max Verstappen, it was the 59th Formula 1 victory of his career and third consecutive victory in Italy. Then remember, if we are talking about Miami Grand Prix, this was also in this, why this Miami Grand Prix is important, you should know, because Lando Norris, this was his first position that he secured in Miami Grand Prix. He used to secure podium finishes second or third but never on the first position. So this is the first time in Miami Grand Prix Lando Norris secured the first position. Next, which country has recently chosen as the host for the 10th edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027? So Brazil will be the host of the 10th edition of FIFA World Cup 2027. Right, and this was declared during the 74th FIFA Congress that was held in Bangkok, Thailand. Then if we are talking about our India will be hosting the BWF World Junior Badminton Championship in 2025 and that will be in Guwahati, Assam. Right, and next, Iran's Vice President Mohammad Mokhber was appointed as the interim president of Iran following the death of Iranian President Daesh in a helicopter crash in northwestern Iran. So we know recently that Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, has recently passed away in a helicopter crash and Iran's Vice President Mohammad Mokhber was appointed as the interim president of Iran. Right? And Ibrahim Raisi, he was the 8th president of Iran who recently passed away in a helicopter crash. Next is the government of India will receive dash more dividends from public sector banks in FY24. So government of India will receive 30% more dividends from public sector banks in FY24 as compared to FY23. Right? And the top 4 public sector banks to pay rich dividends in FY24 are State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Central Bank and Indian Bank. And it is SBI that will be giving the highest ever dividend among the PSUs, that is 13.7 rupees per share. Right? Take a note of this. And in 2023 it was 11.3 rupees per share that was given as a dividend, but now it is SBI that will be giving this dividend and it will be received by the government of India. For Indian Bank it is 12 rupees per share. For Canara Bank it is 16.1 rupees per share with a face value of 10 rupees, right? And Bank of Baroda's dividend here will be 7.6 rupees per equity share. Moving on, Government of India, they have recovered dash under an amnesty scheme for exporters for one-time settlement of default in export. So Government of India, they have recovered 852 crore rupees, right? And this is an under the amnesty scheme for the exporters for one-time settlement of the default in the export. The government has fixed 31st of March 2024 as the last date for the payment of the custom duties plus interest, and under the scheme 6,705 applications were filed as part of the provisional figures and amount of 852 crore rupees has been recovered so far. Which organization has recently estimated merchandise export from India are expected to reach 500 to 510 billion dollar in FY25? It is FIEO, Federation of Indian Export Organization. This is the apex body for exporters in India, and according to them, the merchandise export is expected to increase by 14%, and this 14% rise will lead to 500 to 510 billion dollar in merchandise export. Next, if we talk about World Trade Organization, remember they have released a report that is Global Trade Outlook and Statistics. This report was released by World Trade Organization, and the global merchandise trade volume is projected to grow by 2.6% in 2024 and 3.3% in 2025. Next, which organization has recently released a report titled Water for Shared Prosperity along with the government of Indonesia at the 10th World Water Forum held in Bali, Indonesia? So it is World Bank, right? They have released this report titled Water for Shared Prosperity along with the government of Indonesia during the 10th World Water Forum that was held in Bali, Indonesia. And as per the report, close to 2.2 billion people lack the access of safe drinking water, and 3.5 billion people are deprived of the safety managed sanitation in 2022. Because of this deprived sanitation and proper lack of the safe drinking water, we are seeing close to 1.4 million deaths annually because of the malnutrition and unsafe or unhygienic ways of sanitation and drinking water. Next, RITES Limited, the export arm of Indian Railways, they have signed $111.26 million, that is 915 crore rupees contract agreement to supply 200 broad gauge passenger carriers to Bangladesh, to the Bangladesh railway system, and this is worth 915 crore rupees contract. Then India delivered the first batch of BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles to Philippines, and PM Modi has announced that India will provide financial support of 10,000 crore rupees to Bhutan over the next 5 years. Then next is, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Mukesh Ambani is ranked 12th with a net worth of $110 billion, whereas Bernard Arnault has topped the list with a net worth of $220 billion here. Right, Gautam Adani, he was ranked 14th here with a net worth of $100 billion. Right. Next is who has been recently re-elected as the president of the Dominican Republic for the second term. So Luis Rodolfo Abinader Corona, right, has been re-elected as the president of the Dominican Republic for the second 4-year term from 2024 to 2028, and he has been serving as the president of the Dominican Republic since 2020. Next, remember Azali Osmani. He has been re-elected as the president of Union of Comoros for the fourth 5-year term. Next, name the company or organization that has recently become the world's first private equity to test its synthetic aperture radar technology successfully on a scalable high-altitude pseudo-satellite. So, which is that organization? It is Galaxy Space Solutions Private Limited. They became the world's first private entity to test their synthetic aperture radar technology on a subscale high-altitude pseudo-satellite. With this, Galaxy, they became the world's first private entity to conduct these trials on HAPS platform. HAPS platform was tested at a height of 25,000 feet. And here, remember, this demonstration was conducted at the aeronautical test range that is in Chitradurga, Karnataka. And it was tested by DRDO. Moving on. Then DRDO, they have recently successfully tested SMART. What is SMART? SMART stands for Long Range Supersonic Missile Assisted Release of Torpedo System, and it was tested off the coast of Chandipur in Odisha. Next, which insurance company has recently launched a campaign No Jhanjat Life Insurance Fatafat? That is HDFC Life Insurance Company. They have launched No Jhanjat Life Insurance Fatafat. This campaign promises a seamless and swift life insurance purchasing experience that is tailored for today's fast-paced world. Next is, which company has recently achieved a significant milestone by successfully demonstrating the co-firing of 20% torrefied biomass at its facility in Tanda in Uttar Pradesh. It is NTPC Limited, known as National Thermal Power Corporation. They have achieved a milestone by successfully demonstrating the co-firing of 20% torrefied biomass at unit number 4 in Tanda in Uttar Pradesh. Right? Moving on. According to World Economic Forum's Travel and Tourism Development Index, India is ranked 39th and USA secured the top position in 2024 ranking. So right option is option 5 here. Right? So USA is on the top, followed by Spain on second position and Japan on the third position. If we talk about World Economic Forum, where is the headquarter? Cologne, Switzerland. Bosch brand is the president and it was established in 1971. Then if we are talking about USA, remember, Global Unicorn Index was released. It was released by Huron Institute and India ranked here in the third position in the Global Unicorn Index, and it was USA that has secured the top position with the maximum number of unicorns. Next, name the company that has become the first or India's third unicorn with a valuation of $1 billion in 2024. It is Porter. Porter is a platform that helps in the delivery of product from one location to another location, and it became the third unicorn of India in 2024. Which are the other two? It is Krutrim and Perfuse. They are the two other startups that has reached a unicorn valuation. Next, name the book written by Jenny Erpenbeck and translated by Michael Hoffman that has recently won the International Booker Prize 2024. So, Kairos, right? This is the name of the book, authored by German author Jenny Erpenbeck and translator Michael Hoffman, and they have been named the winner of the International Booker Prize 2024 for this book, Kairos. Right? Apart from this, remember Night Watch. This is the name of the book, authored by Jane Annie Phillips, and for his book Night Watch has won the Pulitzer Prize in 2024 in the fiction category. Next, who has been recently elected as the president of Vietnam for the 2021 to 2026 tenure? So To Lam has been appointed as the president of Vietnam from 2021 to 2026 tenure. Who has recently won the inaugural Casablanca Chess Variant Tournament 2024 that was held in Morocco? So world's #1 chess player Magnus Carlsen has won the inaugural edition, that is the first edition of Casablanca Chess Variant Tournament. So friends, that's all for the day. If you find the session interesting, do like the video. Now let's move to some revision part that will be very beneficial in your learning. Which ministry has recently launched My CGHS app to advance healthcare accessibility for central government health scheme beneficiaries, that is CGHS beneficiaries? So which ministry has launched the My CGHS app to advance the healthcare accessibility for CGHS beneficiaries? It is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Option 2 is right here, right? And this is available for iPhone operating system devices, and it is to advance the healthcare accessibility for CGHS beneficiaries. And this My CGHS iOS application is developed by the National Informatics Center, that is NIC of Himachal Pradesh. Next, which company has recently tested the lunar rover prototype, the flexible logistics and exploration rover, in Mojave Desert in California? So which company tested this lunar rover prototype? It was tested by Venturi Astrolabs Incorporation. Right, this is a LA USA based startup, and they have tested this lunar rover prototype, that is Flex rover. And what does this Flex stands for? Flexible logistics and exploration, and it was tested where location is important, in Mojave Desert of California. Next, which country's defense force has recently received two Dornier 228 planes from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited? It is Guyana. Right, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, they have received two Dornier 228 planes. They are the surveillance aircraft received by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And we remember, if you, this was also gifted to Sri Lanka by India for surveillance perspective. Next, which armed force command along with DRDO has recently conducted the flight test of the new generation ballistic missile Agni Prime from the coast of Odisha? It is Strategic Forces Command, right? And along with DRDO, they have successfully conducted the flight test of the new generation ballistic missile Agni Prime from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam of the coast of Odisha. This is a two-stage surface-to-surface missile, and it is a range between 1000 km to 2000 km. And this is the sixth variant of the Agni Prime missile developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. Next, Indian Army commenced the induction of the indigenous Akshatir control and reporting system to enhance the air defense capabilities. Which company developed the project Akshatir? So Akshatir project was developed by Bharat Electronics Limited, BEL, and it was developed under Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, and this will enhance the Indian Army's defense unit to operate in an integrated manner. Next, which country's superconducting fusion device Artificial Sun has recently set a new world record in the nuclear fusion experiment by sustaining a plasma loop to 100 million degrees Celsius for 48 seconds? It is South Korea. Right, South Korea superconducting fusion device, that is the Korea Superconducting Tokamak Advanced Research by the name K-Star, also known as Artificial Sun at the Korea Institute of Fusion Energy, set a new world record for the nuclear fusion experiment by sustaining a plasma loop to 100 degrees Celsius for 48 seconds. And the aim here is to target 100 million degrees Celsius for almost 300 seconds by the year 2026. This is the targeted project. Next, the Indian Air Force received the delivery of the first indigenously designed and developed Crash Fire Dash. So full form of CFD is asked here. So Indian Air Force, they have received the delivery of the first indigenously designed and developed Crash Fire Tender. Option 2 is right here. Moving on. And one more thing, remember this CFD was developed by a Noida UP based MSME firm against the contract worth 291 crore rupees. Next, which company has recently received or launched Bandwagon 1, the first rideshare mission to low Earth orbit with a Falcon 9 rocket from Florida, USA? So this Bandwagon 1 mission was launched by SpaceX, and it carried a total of 11 satellites, and one of the satellite was of Tata Advanced Systems Limited, that is TSAT-1A. Moving on. In April, Indian Army acquired the first batch of 24 Igla-S man-portable air defense system along with 100 missiles from which country? So it was from Russia. Correct. Indian Army procured the first batch of 24 Russia-made Igla-S man-portable air defense system along with 100 missiles as a part of the agreement involving domestic production in India, and this will bolster the Indian Army's very short-range air defense capabilities. Next, which company has recently launched 3 Black Brent 9 sounding rocket from atmospheric perturbations around ellipse path mission? It is NASA. Correct. And the aim here of this mission is to study the disturbances in the ionosphere because of the total solar eclipse. Next, name the India's first private sector built sub-meter resolution Earth observation satellite that has been launched by Tata Advanced Systems Limited. As we just saw, it is TSAT-1A, and it was launched using the it was the part of the bandwagon satellite, among which 11 satellites were launched by the SpaceX. Next, which country has recently signed an agreement with NASA to advance sustainable human exploration of the moon? It is Japan. Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA, has recently partnered with Japan's Minister of Education, Culture, Sports and Technology, and it was basically to advance the sustainable human exploration of the moon, right? And this agreement was signed at Washington DC in USA. Next, which space agency has recently launched the first Angara A5 space rocket? It is Roscosmos, right? Roscosmos is the space agency of Russia, and they have successfully launched first Angara A5 space rocket from the launch pad in Russia, and this will replace the Proton M as a Russia's heavy lift rocket. Next, which country has recently deployed Sea Dome defense system for the first time? See, Iron Dome. The system named is Iron Dome, right? And it is basically to protect the land from the incoming missiles, right? And this is the equipped in a city. But if the same Iron Dome system is equipped on a ship, then it is known as Sea Dome. Correct? So either asked Iron Dome or Sea Dome, it is of which country? It is of Israel. Next, name the Indian pilot who has been recently selected among the 6 crew members to fly on Blue Origin's New Shepard space tourism mission. So from India, he will be Gopi Thotakura, right? And he has recently received the opportunity where he will be going into space, and he will be the first space tourist from India. And this is the 25th mission of Blue Origin, that is 25th New Shepard space tourism mission. Next, which space organization has recently deployed a lightweight carbon-carbon nozzle for rocket engine? It is ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. And here remember, ISRO's Vikram Sarabhai Space Center based in Trivandrum, Kerala, developed this carbon-carbon nozzle for rocket engine, and this will basically reducing the mass approximately by 67% of the launch vehicle. Next, in April, Dash became the first country to launch Men5CV meningitis vaccine recommended by WHO. It is Nigeria. Nigeria became the first country to launch the new vaccine, that is Men5CV, recommended by WHO, and Men5CV potentially is paving the way for WHO's goal of eliminating meningitis by the year 2030.